What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more solo Morrissey as we continue through Bona Drag. Once again, big shout out to Seb. And the next track in the list is Piccadilly Palare. I assume we're talking Piccadilly Circus, Piccadilly Station. It's part of Westminster and I think Greater London. I'm always reminded of the opening of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the originally novel and eventually miniseries by John le Carre, starring Sir Alec Guinness. I think it was later made into a feature film in the early 2010s. In any case, they refer to MI6 in that story as the circus because I think of its location in Piccadilly Circus, and the opening shot of the series is that little roundabout with like those famous buildings around it. But yes, I don't know much about the area culturally, socially. I don't know if it's more on the affluent end. I think Westminster is more affluent Greater London, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Nevertheless, I imagine that is the setting, the backdrop of this track, though I don't know if it'll be a more personal narrative or perhaps commentary on the area. I guess I'll have to catch what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is Morrissey. The track is Piccadilly Palare, and it's one of the singles included in the compilation Bona Drag, which I think is from 1989/90.
Happy to stay, get out of my way. On the rack I was, easy meet and a reasonably goodbye. A reasonably goodbye. Piccadilly Palare.
Palare.
We plied an ancient trade where we drew all life's instructions.
fascinating little tune, and a very long fade out, and then a rapid stop. So, first of all, I have much to say, but I'll start with an apology. Palare, not Palare, so again, that's not a word I was familiar with, so I was just pronouncing it as the phonetics seem to suggest. But yes, so I like the cleverness at first. He seemed to be saying he was getting off of the subway or the tube, like I was off the rails, but then using the same phrase off the rails in like a personal sense, like lost some control, behaving in a way that is maybe erratic or risky or reckless. So it felt like there was a pun like straight out of the gate. And then, I mean, we have some like live sound. I think it started, there was like people talking, passing on the street, that sort of cacophony. By the end, I swear I heard like a wolf cry or like a wolf howl near the end. So yeah, there's some interesting like sound aspects beyond the music itself, which in a general sense had sort of a Smith sound, maybe a bit edgier in some of the guitar work and some of the sonic aspects, but more or less in the same vein as the Smiths. Also though, some like keyboard that almost sounded kind of like a saloon keyboard. It had something about the kit of the keys had a bit of that like saloon, like piano organ type of sound. But yeah, there were a couple lines in there where it sounds like he's making a connection with someone, but it's like maybe more transactional, which, what was the line? Something about like this ancient trade, which made me think of the world's oldest profession. So then I'm thinking like, oh, like maybe, he's finding a male prostitute essentially, or at least, some form of intimate sexual comfort, but maybe one that is not more traditional. Because what was it like? Getting rid of all life's lessons, which may be the suggestion that like normally you're taught to only engage in those type of connections for the reasons of love and in the context of matrimony and so on. So I was thinking maybe this ancient trade and the disregarding of life's lessons is the idea of like finding that type of connection and comfort in a more passable or even like seedy context. And what was the line also about like, this place isn't the best, but it'll do, it's good enough, something like that. So yeah, I feel like maybe that's a possibility, but then again, there were other lines where I thought maybe he was talking more about just the backdrop for somewhere he's met someone, and maybe it's in that like imperfect, it's never quite what you want it to be, Morrissey vein, in a more like straight away sense, like it's someone he really wants to date, and it's almost like this could last forever, but it's good enough for now, it's not quite what we would want it to be. So yeah, I'm not sure where it all falls together, but again, a couple lines there made me think it was talking about, again, intimacy but in a more transactional way, and maybe because he's engaging in that type of connection or dalliance is why he feels he's off the rails a little bit, or off the rails as compared to expectations and traditional life ways and so on. Either way, I like his singing, not the most, melismatic and flowing as he sometimes does, but very much in his identifiable manner of singing. So yeah, a cool tune, one I'm curious to hear people talk about. Apologies again for Palare, I don't even know what that is, so maybe uncracking that opacity for me would help me understand better. Maybe Palare is an ingredient into understanding what's happening here, but again, it's not a word I'm familiar with. So in any case, a cool tune. I am enjoying the solo Morrissey stuff and hearing how similar to and or distinct from the Smiths material that preceded it is. So yeah, once again, shout out to all the folks who've been following these two deep dives as well as providing the material. Thank you again to Seb for Bona Drag. Do let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.